Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Yes, as always, ladies and gentlemen, we got that squad in the building. It's just me and super producer Joe Holt. Year. It's very light. It was a very light year. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love as always, man. A lot to get into on today's show. Got the opportunity to interview the mayor of Aurora while he was making his pitch for the Chicago Bears to come through and build their stadium in his city. I don't know if he sold the Bears on it, but I don't know, man. I might be moving to Aurora. Like, Aurora sound fire. Like, I'm not gonna stunt with you, dog. I immediately got off of that interview and was like, let me look up some stuff in Aurora. Right? I never looked at Aurora away. What they got for land out there? Found a nice 4.6 acre lot out there. Don't worry about that. But yeah, man, you know me. You know what it. But no, man, gotta sit and talk about, kind of what that could mean for the Bears. Could that shift their focus at all? Also, gotta look at 10 questions. Brad Biggs put out a very interesting mailbag episode, 10 questions that he has for the Chicago Bears heading into camp. We'll be breaking that down as well. And then we'll be introducing a brand new, what's going on there, Joe? You okay? What's happening?
Oh, don't worry about me, man.
There's always something, bro. There's always something going on there.
I'm not going to hold this thing this whole time.
Is that what it is? Well, hey, shout out to you. But no, I also got to we'll be introducing the Bears new, or not the Bears, I'm sorry. We'll be introducing the Windy City Breeze Hall of Fame. That will be very interesting because there's one person on there that I've already got a little question on. But all that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, and if you got time, you can super chat too. We got money again. I'm excited, bro. Joe, what's going on, my guy? How you feeling?
Well, this is Joel Holt, super producer Joel Holt, reporting live from my basement, Pat, and I'm just happy to be part of the show, man. How's it going with you?
We want to see how things are going
in your neck of the woods.
In your neck of the woods.
We'll be right back.
But no, I'm good, man. I'm excited. I think that there's a lot of good conversation happening around this team right now, and so that always gets me pumped up and excited. And there's a lot of good sports talk going on right now, dog. Contrary to what we're seeing every single day on ESPN, that's so much LeBron, bro. Like, why are we talking so much about LeBron every day? I don't know. I don't know, bro. But hey. Got to talk with Mayor of Aurora, Richard Irving, today. And he talked about the idea of the Chicago Bears taking it. What are you doing, dog? You're throwing me. You're giving me ADHD when you switch into the scenes every time.
You know what? You know what? You get the horn. I got new toys. My stuff is working now.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. So it's like, ooh.
You're giving the people at home a stroke, brother. Calm down.
Nova, shout out to Baki.
Shout out to everybody in the chat as well. Yeah, Baki, Ron Holt in the building. Shout out Ron Holt. Tana in the building. Dan Tana in the building. Salute to Dan Tana. King Booker World in this mug as well.
Here he is. What's up,
but no, I've got an opportunity to interview the mayor of Aurora today, and it was very interesting. It was very intriguing when he talked about, how he could get the Bears into the city and how he'd be able to get it done quicker. He even talked about working with the Chicago Bears on some of the things tax-wise to where he's like, I loved his mindset on this. This is one of the things that he said that I thought was one of the bigger things that we haven't heard any other city say. He said, these taxes don't exist unless the Chicago Bears come here. I would be willing to share a portion of the taxes with the Chicago Bears. That to me is one of those things where it's like, all right, you're already off on the right foot. I thought it was very insightful. I don't know if you got a chance to listen to it or if you've read any of the stuff, but what is your thought process on the Chicago Bears possibly shifting their focus to Aurora? Would that be something you'd be interested in seeing?
No, it makes sense for Arlington. It's just pathetic in the sense that billionaires don't want to spend millions for some taxes. Like, it's nothing for them to do that. And I think that's the mentality of a billionaire, right? They're all these owners' mentality is to use government or use other people's money to finance the projects. That's how they stay rich. But to me, I would think like I was saying earlier, they don't necessarily want to get into the real estate business. It's like you can go into the real estate business as the Chicago Bears, as well as being a football team. And I guess a lot of them don't want to do that. Why not own all of Bears land? You could develop your own hotels, your own restaurants, your own everything. So to me, it would make more sense that you own that land. It's in the right spot with all the expressways. Because if that's the case, go out to Matson. There's a whole spot. There's a whole abandoned Lincoln Mall demolished. There's a whole site for you right over there.
Yeah.
Come out south if you're going to do that, because you're still going to have to do some improvements for infrastructure. But Aurora, to me, what is that? That's off 88.
Yeah, that's right off 88. Yeah.
Versus you're a 290 and 355, if I'm correct. Like it's a better, better in terms of the commute, and there's a train line. There's a lot of things that are, that will make more sense. I see you, Crimson. I know that rich don't get rich. They don't stay rich by giving money away. I understand that, but this is an investment of you guys making gazillions of dollars. It's not like them paying those type of taxes is not killing them. By the way, we got 100 in the chat.
Over 100 in the chat. 57 over on the YouTube side, 43 over on Twitter. Hit that like button if you haven't done so. Let's get this mug cracking off, man. YouTube trying to hate on us now that we got our money back, so they ain't been pushing the content as much. That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. You got to play the game, brother. I don't know. Here's my thing, and I think that this is the biggest part of all of this, which I also think that Mayor Richard Irving bringing it up did make sense. Lincoln Mall never closed; it just moved to Orland.
It's so trash. I hate that, because I grew up in Matson, so to see the city I grew up in just devolve into what it's become is just a shame. And then knowing that mall, Orland's thriving, it is what it is. But yeah,
I think here's my thing with all of this. You do have to be realistic in the conversation of, okay, what are you actually going to get done here? In the city of Chicago, what are you going to get done? In the city of Arlington, what are you actually going to get done? And how long is it going to take you to actually start getting that done? It seems like they've shifted their focus away from Arlington because they don't like how Arlington does business. They don't like how Arlington goes about their business. They don't like how they kind of snuck in some of those taxes. And all right, bet. Okay, that's how you want to do business. Bet we'll shift our focus elsewhere. We still own the land. We can do whatever we want with it. We can sell it if we really wanted to. But you have a hole in the middle of your city now, so you're not sitting here twisting our arm. The problem is where you've shifted your focus is Chicago and the lakefront, which
is a whole other set of problems.
I would love that you would get a stadium done in Chicago on the lakefront. But the part that's tough is, and I do wonder this, I wonder if he was blindsided, because I'll bet you Minneapolis and Minnesota work really well together. Like the state and the city. I wonder if Kevin Warren was a little blindsided by the fact that, like,
he didn't realize Friends of the Park is probably going to be a bigger nemesis than he realized. Shout out to Drew.
Well, even the fact that I think Aurora, or the state of Illinois, they're not worried about when the Bears, get this project done. They're not worried about the time that it takes for the Bears to get this project done. They're not worried about any of that. In fact, so much so that when there was a bunch of Bears beat reporters or Bears bloggers that went up to, I think it was the meeting last 2 weeks ago, I want to say, up at the state. And how they started the meeting off was by going, I know a lot of you are here to hear the ruling of the Chicago Bears. We will not be discussing that today. And then they moved on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So it's not on the forefront of Illinois' mind. I do wonder, at what point do you kind of have to shift your focus? At what point do you have to say, I would love to build this stadium here, but they just don't want to play ball with us?
Well, it's the mentality. You're talking about mentality of a billionaire versus the mentality of also a politician, also of a governor. And what are the real priorities? For fans of the Bears, it's like, you want this. For them, the billionaire's mentality is that we need to sell seats. We need a product that sells.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we can sell the fandom. That's great. But they could care less to a degree if we have a winner or not. Did we sell tickets? Did the vendors sell? Are we selling our concessions? All those parking, how did that go? And we only have 8 of these games here. Now, maybe we should do better so we can get two more games home. But like the Jerry Reinsdorf situation, you have a stadium that, yes, I play 82 games, but now I'm making money like crazy. The Blackhawks play the other nights that the Bulls don't play. Then I have concerts that come in. I have to book This is the venue itself is enough work that you're looking at. So to them, the state's like, well, I want to make some money. How you putting state tax dollars back in our pocket? Because I have a bigger thing to deal with. Yeah, it's Chicago, but I have the whole state. Now you got these other towns that's willing to do business with you. There's still a deficit, right? Because Chicago said we're going to put up $2 billion. Where's Aurora? What were they putting up? Did he say what type of money they were putting up, or they just going to give them a discount?
He basically said that it would be something that they would have to be in similar to what Arlington was doing, right? Because the state's not putting up money for Arlington. That would be a privately funded stadium. But in doing that, right, it's still a privately funded stadium. Mayor Irving basically said that, we'd give them more tax breaks. We'd allow them, and we'd spread that money out that they have to pay over a longer period of time. It wouldn't be the 125. I think it was 125 million Arlington wanted. What was it, 4 years after the stadium was built or something like that? He's like, we spread that out throughout the build.
But I mean, so he's kind of, but they're in a sense prostituting themselves to do that. You're getting the notoriety. You get nothing. You give away all those tax dollars. That is your infrastructure. That's your schools. Like, Walmart will do is they'll build their Walmart. They'll work with the city. City says, we'll give you all these tax breaks for like 10 years. You don't have to pay any taxes. Then when come time to pay the taxes, Walmart says it's cheaper for me to build another Walmart in the next town who's willing to do business with us, and we'll just leave this eyesore for you. They've done that too.
Yeah, but the difference is that you can't pick up and build another $5 billion stadium in another city in 10 years. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but my point is that they didn't pay taxes. They didn't help the economy of that city, so they can afford to move. You're talking about giving away tax incentives and dollars that benefit your town, and it doesn't help you. You just have this city here, and maybe your restaurants around the areas that picks up tax dollars. That's how that would work for them. But you're missing a big portion of income by allowing a team to come in just because they got the name, and they're kind of just playing you. It's a drop in the bucket for you to spend the tax money that they want. So
yeah, but I mean, listen, you do want. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad that the Bears are going about the stadium process the way that they are, because to me, you need to be in the spot to build the best stadium. This is a part that I didn't think about either. Which to me, the lakefront now, I'm on a big question, and I would love to see them go outside of the lakefront, even though I was excited about it. Guess how many? Because all of this is so what? Like, what's the real goal of building a new stadium?
To make more money.
Yeah, but what is the best way in the NFL to make more money? By building a new stadium?
Well, it's Super Bowls. It's
exactly. How many seats were going to be in that stadium?
About 70,000. You got to build over 67,500 to have that, and then you have
you have to have 70,000 minimum.
Oh, then they raised it. It was
to have a Super Bowl. So you can't even get a Super Bowl with the stadium that you're trying to build.
Yeah, but the point is the Super Bowl, how does that really help the Bears in the sense? By you getting a stadium that you own, you're generating the money. They lease the stadium right now, right? That's just one extra game for them. But if you had Arlington.
Yes, but it's everything around that game. It's a massive game for you.
What do the Bears have around downtown right now in the city that benefits them by having a Super Bowl? It benefits the city. The city wants it because it brings in tourist dollars. That's what these cities want. It's okay, you come here, and now because you can host Final Four games, you can host all these things. That's how Aurora gets put on the map. Because in their sense, we'll forgive the taxes that the Bears will pay me because you're going to make it back in all the other events that you're going to bring. Because now we got a generator that brings something every all the time, every month, pretty much.
Yeah, I just think that my thing is, at a minimum, if you want to get these events, you need to be able to host the biggest event that your sport does.
Yeah,
and if you're building a stadium that can't, don't tell me it's 70,000 with the chairs outside. So what are you hitting me for 12.5 for a seat outside in the middle of February? Yeah, I mean, and there's people that would pay it. I'm not saying there's not people that wouldn't pay it, but it doesn't sound logical. You're building a stadium that doesn't even allow you to get your sport's biggest event.
Well,
now I would like to see, maybe some different movement, and maybe use this as some kind of leverage. And maybe that's what the plan is here, using the city of Chicago as some kind of leverage until somebody budges. But you have a city that's willing to work with you on this versus that one that also, right? Arlington Heights still Cook County. So you're still getting all of the Cook County taxes, all of that stuff that goes into that, which is probably why Arlington is more likely to be like, no, we got to raise these tax dollars versus the possibility of Aurora, where I'm not saying that, it's an easy get because you got to, it's not like they just walk out there and it's like, oh, look at that. That's phenomenal. I would love to see that. But yeah, I mean, like, let's just put a nice piece of property right there. Yeah, right off of the, what river is that? Is that the Fox River out there? Put a nice piece of prop right off the Fox River. I mean, I'm not saying that, but I do think that there's something to be said on when you go and look at your stadium costs. We know what DuPage County is. That's a whole, I mean, it's a third of the taxes that we pay here.
Yeah.
So you also have to look at that, at how that plays into it. I think that these are all things that, for me, with the Chicago Bears, you're trying to get this money out of nowhere that may or may not come because of who you're working with on this versus an actual city that does have a lot of growth or does have a lot of infrastructure that's already in place that you can build on top of. I think you could have worse options.
But you're trying to, I think it's maybe they're thinking that their cachet allows them to kind of get carte blanche. They can do what they want. And I think that's the problem. It's like, no. And the problem is, I think that people around the country in different states have seen the examples of what it means to build a stadium, especially a modern stadium. And so it's like, the examples of how LA do their stadium, how did Vegas do their stadium, how did some of these more modern ones, what's the other one? Arizona, seeing how these, well, that's LA, but just seeing how it's
a lot of LAs. I said there's a lot of them in LA.
Yeah. So, it's more about now. The thing is that Illinois, in a sense, I mean, it's hard to have like 3 governors go to prison, like there's a lot of things going on where you're playing catch up because how much of that stuff has set the state back. And so the Bears come in and say, hey, give us a loan. It's like, first of all, the last yokels sat there and took the money they still owe us. Now you want us to take this money and give you more money and then push it back 40 years because you don't intend to pay it.
Yeah.
Well, you could pay it back in no time if you really wanted to. So it's like you're not going to get any favor from anybody because it's just for the rich to get richer. And you're selling this idea that somehow everybody else is going to benefit from this.
But here's my thing, right? Like, yes, it is for the rich to get richer, and I would love for us to sit here and play Robin Hood, but it's good if our rich gets richer. If our team gets richer, that means that we get to spend money on better players. That means that we get to go out and invest more money into the team. That means that we get to go out and invest more money into the equipment. So I do get I get the morality of it, but Super Bowl teams and championship teams usually spend money. And you have to have that big money. So I like the fact that they're almost like, the rich get richer. I like the fact that they're like, we're not just going to pay a tax because you told us we have to pay a tax. I like the fact that they're counting the dollars because guess what? The teams that win usually count the dollars really well.
It's not, because your cap, there's still a cap. And the key to building a great team is to keep drafting to pay for rookie contracts and contracts that
there is still a cap. But
look at the Patriots. How many times did Tom Brady have to restructure his contract so he can win? Like, you're going to pay for so much, but it's not like you have this absorbent amount of money because there's still a cap. Now, it is going up every year, but the salaries are going up every year. Now you got guys making a ton. So it doesn't correlate. It somewhat correlates of an attraction, I think, of bringing players that want to come to Chicago, for example, they win, but it doesn't. To me, it's the amenities that you could do. Like what they talk about, like Mark Cuban did with Dallas. He was the first guy to revolutionize the modern locker room where guys are like, whoa, we're getting first class, treatment.
That's the thing. Why'd he do that?
No, because now, to your point, that does that. That it doesn't necessarily correlate to more players because you're still going up against a cap.
No, but what I'm saying is if you've got more, if the McCaskies got more money, they'll be willing to spend more money. If a player comes out and he wants to be there, usually the players we want are the big money players, and we'd be like, well, normally with the Bears, we just go, we're not spending that money. Right? Like we always do that. And my point is, you invest more into the city, you invest more into the stadium, you invest more into the facilities, you get more players that want to come there. Now you get more of an opportunity to go, okay, you know what I mean? Well, like we weren't going to spend that money, but now freaking the best offensive lineman in the NFL wants to come here because he likes the facilities
to a degree,
and we're winning.
Yeah, but if your organization isn't right, the thing is that money that they would make goes back to the organization. You're still up against a cap, but if your stuff isn't run right, I think they've always had an opportunity to get good players and good coaches. They just fumble the ball a lot of times. How many times have we heard of them? There's been situations where they didn't know how to, the Dave McGinnis hire, for example, or they're always doing something on the cheap of hiring the wrong, this rookie coach that's never coached before, or we're taking a chance. We're going to put our $1 billion franchise in the hands of someone that don't know what they're doing. That's organizational. The money of buying Hallis Hall being upgraded, totally different from where it was 20, 30 years ago, right? It's very modern looking. Like those things add to the home of these players where that money can go to. What do you say? I don't know. Go ahead. I don't know, Pat, because Virginia's still trying to figure out how we're paying the players $667. She likes that too much. I don't think Virginia has that much to say. I think she wakes up, eats her porridge, and goes back to sleep. I don't know what she.
Hey, what was that shot? That was nuts.
She's 101 years old. I mean, I don't think she has that much involvement.
Oh, man. Hey, if y'all haven't done so, hit that like button over on the YouTube side, man. Subscribe to the page. We appreciate you guys tuning in and showing love. As always, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't done so over on the Twitter side, I know you're listening, but pop on out, hit that like, hit that retweet button, man. We appreciate you guys showing support and love as always. And let us know your thoughts, man. Do you feel like, Aurora is a real option for the Chicago Bears, or do you think, I mean, listen, at what point do we go, is there a stadium getting built? Like, I'm not going to lie. We've been having this conversation for 2 years.
Yeah.
We've been talking about a stadium being built for 2 years.
I thought, has it been 2 years? I thought they just finalized it last year.
But they've been talking about moving for 2 years.
Oh. Well, I don't know. I think it doesn't matter even if Arlington Heights. Well, the deal is it's different. It's different for them if they do Arlington Heights. They put up $2 billion. They can just.
Well, they've already got the money invested in the land. You know what I mean? They've already bought the land, so it's different if they move out there.
Right now, the numbers right now it's $5 billion for a lakefront stadium. How much is it for a Arlington Heights stadium? Is it $2 billion? Because it's just the land. You don't have to redevelop and infrastructure like that.
I would think more because listen, I worked in Arlington Heights. I was an AT&T Prim Tech, spent many days in Arlington Heights. Arlington Heights is apartments and Mexicans, and in the houses that didn't have Mexicans, there were Mexican restaurants. Like that's all Arlington Heights was when I was out there, bro. I'd be there all the time. I loved it. It was cool. Plenty of food. But they're gonna rebuild the infrastructure. They're going to have to. They're rebuilding Arlington Heights. Yeah. If the Bears move out there, they're rebuilding Arlington Heights. They might as well rename the team.
It's going to be amazing. And at that time it was like, ooh, I was looking at plots of land out there. I'm so glad I wasn't trying to, get ahead early and close on something out there and we're stuck. But it is what it is. I think like I said, do they want to get into the real estate business or stay in the football business?
Well, I think that's the thing. I don't think they want to get in the real estate business.
Yeah, but
I think, which is weird because you bought the land.
But then when you want the Chicago downtown deal, I mean, you are still in a lease. I guess you want half the work to be done where you're not putting that money up, but you get but you're still splitting revenues.
Yeah,
and there's nothing else really around it that you benefit. So you get a couple of partnerships with a few franchises to come out to your Bears country. You're making money like hand over fist. I don't get it.
We'll see. We'll see what their interest is. We'll see what the Bears want to do. I think this is a topic that is nowhere near dead. This is a topic that is nowhere near closed. And we'll be talking about this for a while here. Brad Biggs put out an article. By the way, appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Brad Biggs put out an article earlier this week, and an interesting article. Gave his 10 biggest questions for the Chicago Bears as they head into their summer break with plenty of optimism before training camp. Bears have been getting a lot of love at training camp, and he just kind of wants. He asked. I don't even know if he really asked, but he kind of said, like, these are the major storylines that the Bears have heading into this. Number one, he has Caleb Williams. The question around Caleb Williams is, how do you, what the heck was that?
Good job, Brad.
That's good. Oh, I figured that one out. Did you there, Brad? You figured that out? Number one, he is Caleb Williams. Said the development of the number one pick will be the biggest storyline of the year, and the significance of his progress cannot be overstated. If Thursday's minicamp finale is evidence, and be really careful putting a lot of stock in 11-on-11 drills when there are no pads, no pass rush, no press coverage. He was significantly more comfortable in the red zone than he was in the OTA drills. Coach Flus talked about it. Talked about matching Williams on the first team offense against the starting defense. A lot of times coaches will have ones versus the twos in practice. Flus said, I don't like that. I think Caleb's a talent, a very good talent. He needs to be going up against the ones. But basically the question of how do you continue to develop the young quarterback through here? And to me, right, what do you want to see develop from Caleb Williams the most? And to me, it all starts with the cadence. I don't know how they're going to continue to do that. I don't know if these guys come together. They basically got 6. These guys come together. It's crazy. Jesus. I don't. They basically just have 6 weeks to go out here and work and relax and get some work in. The biggest question I think that surrounds this Bears team and the development of Caleb Williams right now, though, is how quickly he gets down the calls, the cadence, and how he's able to utilize those. And the biggest concern around all of that right now is Brad's his second biggest question on this, the offensive line. And one name on this offensive line. Let's not get it twisted. We know who we're talking about. I think Tevin Jenkins is going to be out there and fine as long as he's healthy. Darnell Wright's a dog. You got dog on there? You don't have dog? No dog?
What? Oh, y'all can hear me making noise or something? My fault.
I don't know what that is. But yeah, you got Braxton Jones, right? You got guys. It's Nate Davis. That's the biggest concern that we have with this team right now.
Yeah.
And so to me, figuring out how to get him comfortable with the cadence, with how he's calling the plays, and get his offensive line comfortable with him. Those are the two biggest questions. And I agree with Brad on that you have heading through this 6 weeks on the way to training camp.
Yeah, that is such. I guess that's such a glaring thing that people need to understand. Of like, if the line isn't right, and it's just frustrating because.
Shout out TJ the Fuzz joining the super fan. Breeze super fan in the building.
Appreciate you, bro. Ham. Yeah, that actually. I mean, all of the line, the weakest link. You know, you're only as strong as your weakest link, and if he ends up becoming 200 in the chat, by the way.
200.
Yeah,
you just keep switching it like that instead of like how you do in the studio.
Yeah, that is really the biggest thing. I mean, well, really for me, I just want to see that does Caleb really make those progression reads? Is he really able to go from 1 to 2, if not to 3? To me, you know, because things could break down. Can he see the field? I think everybody else will be able to, you know, do their part. But yeah, like I said, for the offensive line, yes, if we're having a gap where
wait. I wasn't gonna even mention it. You saw that comment and rubbed your goatee, didn't you? You saw Steve-O's comment and he rubbed your goatee. I wasn't even gonna bring it up, but I love that it like hits you in your subconscious, and you was like,
I didn't even think about that until. Thank you, appreciate you.
Oh, that's okay. when people mention Mike, when people mention, I can't even get it out. Don't worry about it. The joke died. Go ahead. I had a stroke right there. It is what it is.
But
yeah, for sure.
no, I think that yeah, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So I would really hate that Nate Davis doesn't work out because of what the money that's being given to him. So then does that develop or stunt the growth, or it could be a positive if he's not in there or what have you. Does Karan? Is it Karan? Right, Karan.
Karan Amagaji, yeah.
Some of the other guys, is there a diamond in the rough that comes out of nowhere that ends up becoming that guy? Because that happens all the time. We were starting this dude, and then we found this dude, and is it Matt Pryor? Is it the center that becomes the guard because Ryan Bates? Is it the other guy, Connor? Did you see? I meant to look it up. Did you see there was a center that got released from the Chargers, Pro Bowler?
I did. Oh yeah. He been gone though.
I thought
they just cut him.
They just dropped. I think they just released him today, and that would be interesting to see what's the deal with that. Is it a salary cut versus a performance thing? Because now there's a center, that may be out there as well. So now, does that mean? But I know we talked about this yesterday. We only have so much money left in the cap once you sign Caleb and oh, he's retiring. Okay, once you sign Caleb and Rome. So, but I guess that doesn't matter. But the issue is like you're saying, weak link is Davis at right guard.
Yeah.
Braxton, I guess, is entrenched as the left tackle. We know that.
Listen, y'all know my dream scenario. If you run it, I'm a Gaji out there at left guard. Because here's my thing: throwing people in at guard to me, I feel safer about because they got protection on both sides. You know what I mean? So they got you got your Braxton Jones on the outside, or you move Braxton Jones inside, and you have Amagaji on the outside, one or the other. But you've got that guy outside, and then you got the center to help you as well.
Yeah. Shout out to Mikey D. We got another member level. Shout out to
Mikey D. Shout out Mikey D in the building. But yeah, we're going board for board out here. But no, I think that the fact that you have Tevin who's shown you something dominant on the right side, I'm not as worried about it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not as concerned about it because I know there's a guy on the team that can be good over there. What it does to your offensive line is it kills your depth.
But the offset is you have all of these skill position players that we did not have last year. So
yeah, that's question number 3 for Big Z. How will all the skill position talent work together?
Okay, so then there's that question, and then who's the safety? You potentially have 2 safety valves. I really think that Keenan Allen is a safety valve for Caleb, but it might be that one of the tight ends.
Yeah,
maybe it's not Cole, but the other tight end. What's the other one? Gerald Everett. And then you still got Swift as a dump off. So will the coordinator be talented or creative enough to give him these options? Because and then we still got Rome and DJ Moore and Komet. Like that is a very interesting, set of like offensive playmakers that we have.
No, yeah, I think here's my biggest question with the offense is kind of one, do we see somebody get disgruntled if they're not getting targets? That's one of the questions that I have going through the season, not so much heading into camp. But 2, right, is there a comfort level with Shane Waldron's offense that guys are just popping open every time? You know what I mean? Is there, because you've got the type of weaponry where on offense you should be able to move down the field and go, oh look, that guy's open. Oh look, that guy's open. Oh look, and it's also based on the fact that the level of defenses that we play are very sub the Bears defense. I think that you've got 2 or 3 defenses on this schedule. I've said this a couple of times that I think are at the same level as the Chicago Bears defense. I think you've only got
49.
Right, San Fran, I'd say Houston and no, not the Packers. Lions, kind of?
No, because we beat them. Like we handled
Justin Fields did put up 30 plus on them twice. And they really struggle against mobile quarterback. I'm trying to think like there's not a ton of defenses on this schedule that I go, oh God, how are we going to overcome that? So I think when you take all of that into account as well with this team, I think when you look at what the Bears schedule is, there's going to be a lot of good opportunities for the wide receivers you have on this team.
What to me, what this does is that this is a landing strip for Caleb Williams to take off. Like as he gets into this is making sure they need quarterbacks to do well in this league. They don't have that many great quarterbacks. So if we can bring in talent, I mean, maybe they also understand like, hey, these really good quarterbacks coming out technically are going to bad teams, and our guys, they're getting their heads beat in. And they're going to get.
They really did that though. Do you think that they perfectly put this schedule for Caleb Williams?
But it is kind of odd,
because that's always weird to me when I hear Muggs say that. Like when it's like, oh, they made this perfect for Caleb. I was like,
no. I'm not. It just it worked. My point is, it worked out. There's no way that we knew that the Bears were getting the first pick last year. At this time, we were thinking third, fourth pick with the Panthers. So to somehow get the number one pick again, no, everything just lined up.
Yeah. Even is that no? I will say this. If ever there was something scripted, what the Bears have had over the last couple of years is exactly that. You know what I mean? If ever there was something scripted, it's like first round pick, and then first round pick. Also, you fleece the Panthers, so you still got a second round pick. Oh, by the way, when you actually get the quarterback that your GM wants, Titans, Texans, Colts, all the teams that you kind of just like, yeah, okay, I'm cool with that.
I would say the NFL's, maybe not, but the NFL's thing was for them. The whole it's a landing strip. It's for the plane to take off.
Shout out Baki, 18 months in this month. He back on the super fans. Appreciate you joining back up. He said, all I know is I need to see Jair Alexander get cooked multiple times in both games by Keenan Rome and DJ. I feel that.
Amen, brother.
Amen, brother. Hey, bro, I'm just saying, bro, if you're going to say anything is scripted, bro, if you're ever going to say the NFL's got a script, like, dog, it's kind of there.
Some favors, they couldn't.
That was the favor. That's what no wonder the Bears are on Hard Knocks this year. They said, listen, we'll put you on Hard Knocks.
We gave you the schedule,
but look, we'll give you 2 first round picks, first overall. We'll let DJ Moore come there. We'll set you up so you got 2 rookies phenomenally. You'll win 7 games. You'll be able to do everything you want to do, but you got to be on Hard Knocks.
No, I think they said we gave you the schedule. Now please get on Hard Knocks. No way that Lovie Smith, that one domino effect of Lovie Smith winning that game.
Oh, dog, I forgot about that. The reason we get the pick is Lovie.
Yeah, I used to have a picture of Lovie. So,
bro, hey, bro. Hey, listen, I'm glad. I'm gonna believe that it's not scripted.
Full circle. No, it's not.
It might be scripted.
There's no way. But
Lovie Smith gets us the first overall pick that we trade to make ourselves better. Get a second first overall pick. And we get DJ Moore out of it.
Yeah, that's not scripted, but the schedule, that is.
Hey, bro, listen. I'm not saying it's scripted, but it's a heck of a movie when it comes out. Like, let's be real.
It just worked out.
When the Bears win their Super Bowl, that is a movie.
How did I start?
Literally, hey, I don't even want you to start it at the season. I want you to start it at the end of the season when Lovie Smith wins. That's how you start the movie. Who's playing Lovie?
Jonathan, he said it's scripted by God. Oh, where's my drum roll? I need a last one. That's the one I'm missing to do.
Hey, Damien said this is more scripted than the Bible. Bro, hold on. Who's playing Lovie? Who are we getting to play Lovie? Please, no more Lawrence Fishburne. I'm done with Lawrence.
Oh, that's terrible. Lovie. Who would play Lovie?
Who would play Lovie? Is there a good?
Who's the guy that Dijamon Hinzu?
Who?
Give us 3. The guy that always plays all the Africans.
It's not bad. It's not bad, bro. Get him to play Lovey. George is played by every old white man ever.
Forrest Whitaker is Lovey. Oh, no, Don Cheadle. Yeah. I guess, and the thin voice. Yes.
Don Cheadle was Lovey, maybe.
I can see that.
I can see that.
Lovey was more stout though. You gotta get a little slightly.
I was gonna say this. Now this is a little offshoot because Lovey not a big part of this movie. He's just the very beginning. So this is just a cameo. You can't pay him that much, but you got to pay him. Would you be in favor of old bald Eddie Murphy? It's not bad, bro. It's not bad.
But Lovey got that. Now we're gonna go out there. We're gonna win this game, because we're gonna have pride on the line. See, that's what we're gonna do, and go Bears.
No, we're not putting Terrence Howard in. No Terrence Howard.
Hey man.
Listen, I'm so glad that we won that game, man. I don't want to see it, man.
Danny Glover, no.
Danny Glover too old.
I'm too old for this.
Danny Glover too old. Yeah. Danny Glover was in the original Angels in the outfield. We don't need that. Matthew McConaughey as Matt Eberflus. Is that what we do? Oh God. Now I will take Donald Glover as DJ Moore. Or is he too light skinned? He might be a little too light skinned.
Oh, Donald Glover is DJ Moore. No, that's
Childish Gambino.
You are not casting anything. Donald Glover, heck no. That's what we should do by Friday. Come up with our cast
for when they make the movie.
Based off that Clippers, the freaking show yesterday.
Ooh, is John Amos still with us?
Too old.
Is John Amos still with us?
He's still around.
Oh, okay. All right. Shout out John Amos. I thought he was out of there.
No.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. No, Robert Downey Jr. got to play this year's Flus.
Who would be a good Flus? Nah, his hair. Nah, that wouldn't work.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. got phenomenal hair game.
Oh, okay. We got another super chat, Mr. Inglewood. What's up, Mr. Inglewood? 77. Where's my mouse at? Here you go.
I got it.
You got it. Oh, my fault. Sorry. You do it.
You're killing me.
You do it.
Shout out to the super chat, Mr. Inglewood 77. When is someone finally going to tell Braxton Jones to hit the squat rack? Film shows right away his wheels are weak and he can be bull rushed effectively. Now, I will say this. I'm not going to say who I was standing by, but they have played the offensive line position. And we have the same fear, both of us, about Karan Amagechi. Because as I stand behind them, right, they all line up in front of you. I'm like, legs a little thin, dog. Like they not Gabe Karimi. It's not Gabe Karimi on his matchsticks.
Yeah,
but the legs a little thin, dog. He might need to hit the squat rack as well. It might need to be a group of it. Let's keep that. I love that we went down. We do need to figure out who plays every bear in the movie. Let's do that on Friday. That'd be phenomenal. Phenomenal. Oh, maybe we have to do that Thursday. You won't be here Friday, so might have to do that on a Thursday here. Fourth on Big Z's concerns, or not even concerns. Fourth on Big Z's questions with the Chicago Bears heading into training camp. It's the pass rush.
Yep.
We're not.
I think we'll be pleasantly surprised.
I'm gonna say this. The question is valid. The question is there. I wonder if, and yet again, are you playing the long game with this?
I'm sorry, but Larry Woodson.
Will Ferrell's Jay Cutler. You went too far back. We're not going that far back. LeVar Burton is Lovey. Butterfly in the sky. Come on.
Oh God. Sorry.
But no, I think that there's something to be said about this Bears pass rush where you do take it into kind of, I guess, spurts, right? Like the defensive line right now is not where we would like it to be. But do we head into the season with this D-line and then we make an adjustment during the season? Do we head into the season with this D-line and we make an adjustment at the draft? That's a good call. I couldn't think of his name, TJ the Fuzz.
Dennis Haybert.
Is that his name for real? The All-State guy?
The All-State. The deep voice guy?
Yeah. I don't know no actors' names. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I thought that's a good call on that one. That's a good call. Cedric the Entertainer, the perfect love. Go to bed, Baki. That's enough of that.
Throwing names out.
But no, I think that when you look at this Bears pass rush right now, you may enter the season with what you got and feel it's not great. And here's what I'll say about this. And let me ask you this, and I'll ask the chat this as well.
Or
With the DB unit that we currently have, are you okay with a unit that gets pressure but maybe doesn't have the sack numbers? Because pressure forces quarterbacks to make bad decisions. Pressure forces quarterbacks, and not getting hit helps that a lot. But pressure forces quarterbacks to sit there and go, I need to get this ball out quicker. I'm going to make a decision that maybe I wouldn't have normally made. I've got, to me, it's not even arguably the best DB unit in the NFL right now.
So, to your point, you only have so many seconds to cover a player, but I think we'll be pleasantly surprised with the pass rush. I don't think it's going to be dominant. I do think it'll be better than what we had. I think dominant, you'll be looking for is 60 sacks, like a crazy amount of sacks.
That's an insane amount of sacks.
So 40. No. I'm saying as a team. I'm trying to remember. Is 40 considered really like a good amount of sacks for a team? So, like, if we're still getting the pressure, like you said, if you're expecting Javon Dexter to take that leap to be able to,
last season, your best defense in the NFL had 60 sacks. That was the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, so I'm not wrong. So
second was the Kansas City Chiefs.
How many sacks did they have?
57.
Right. Okay. So 40 sacks doesn't mean it's necessarily dominating, but it's getting to, like, this defense is designed for pressure. I guess the best barometer to check would be look up the what year was the Tom Brady Tampa Bay defense? Because they were 2016 or something. They were killing.
The 2016? No, that's not 2016. Tampa Bay.
With Tom Brady, what year was that? 2020?
That was like 2021.
Everything's flying now.
What?
Yeah, you're right, because that was Philly. So, okay, sorry. 2021, whatever. Tom Brady, that defense, that's a cover 2 defense.
Uh-huh.
Of course, reference our defense, the 06 one, to see what type of sack numbers. That's kind of what we're going to look at. I'm thinking 40-some sacks, and that's not necessarily bad, because that means that Montez gets 10, 11, and then you got the other guys that pick up. So if guys are getting 5, guys are getting 4, guys are getting 8, like that Mark Anderson.
That defense had 47 sacks that year.
There you go. Yeah. So I'm not necessarily off, but we don't know if Booker comes in and does like a Mark Anderson kind of situation. You know what I mean? Like he could come in and get, maybe he catches on at the end of the year because he's starting to get his weight up or whatever, or he's fresh legs and he's giving you 8 sacks. But I think it's the sum of the parts on this defensive line. We got Sweat, but does who's the starter right now? Who's the guy? I'm drawing a blank.
Marcus Walker.
Marcus Walker, and then you still got, does Javon Dexter move to getting you 5 sacks from the nose tackle position? Because what's his name? Aaron Donald. I mean, he was getting 9 sacks.
Aaron Donald's ridiculous, bro. And what was really cool? I don't know if you saw this, Joe, but I had the opportunity to interview Henry Melton. I don't know if you checked out that episode, if that made you tingly from before 2006. But I thought it was very interesting how he talked about the 3 technique position, right? Because he was that linchpin for us, him and Tommy.
Melton was it was Tank Johnson and Tommy. Melton was he helped. Sorry.
I mean, Melton was cold. He was like 7 sacks. Well, okay. Henry Melton was like 7 sacks from the middle, dog. That's a lot of sacks.
Oh, okay. I could be wrong.
You be wrong. But no. No, I think that
I'm right every time.
Yeah, but no, I think that what's interesting about Henry Melton, or what he said was, right, like those guys they can be very dominant, but they have very short careers.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, it makes you look at guys like even Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's the best. Aaron Donald, to me, might arguably the best defensive player of all time.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel that the best player in the NFL of all time is Dion. And Aaron Donald might be the best defensive player of all time because he's doing it from the middle, and he's got 111 career sacks.
Yeah, he's like we looked this up. He's like outside of defense. He's number 3, I think, all time.
Bro, but like a lot.
He's close enough. I think it was Mongo is like number 3. He's like number 1 or 2. Like he's like
bro. He's freaking ridiculous from the interior.
12 and a half. Like he had 20 and a half sacks in 2018. Did they win that Super Bowl that year? What year did they win the Super Bowl?
2022. Right?
No, that was
because it's when they traded Stafford.
Oh, we only got 5 sacks that year. 12, but 12 and a half, 13 and a half. Like those are serious numbers from a defensive tackle position.
From a DT position. So it's insane. But I think the one thing that we need to look at, and I think you brought it up, it's the 5th question on Big C's list as well, Javon Dexter's development. And I'll say this, I think Javon is poised to have a really big season. I know you can't see a lot from the mini camp and OTAs and stuff like that, and you're not going to see a ton from these guys early on because there's no pads, there's nothing right that you can really tell from the trenches.
Yeah.
But Javon just looks like he knows when to go.
Well, that's
Javon
good.
just looks like he looks like his brain has switched from I was in a 2-gap system to now I'm in a penetrating style. And Henry Melton talked about that, where he basically said, you were in that, when you're in that penetrating style, it's just go. It's not right. You get through there and your goal is to get through a hole in the offensive line and try to find where the quarterback is at and force him some direction and chase him down from behind. Mm-hmm. Javon Dexter's he was big last year. Like he was not fat, but like he was definitely bigger. Him now being much more lean, I think he's poised to have a really, really good conversation or really good season this year and be in the conversation for being that linchpin piece.
I would say, because like looking at the numbers of Tampa now, the way that Tampa used their linebackers is clearly different. Like Devin White had 9 sacks. Jason Pierre-Paul had 9.5. Shaq Barrett had 8. They had Ndamukong.
They just had weapons all across that line, though.
They had Ndamukong Suh as a defensive end with 6 sacks. So if Vita Vea, he was the nose tackle. He only had 2 sacks. So clearly they didn't necessarily. I don't think they ran a cover 2 like that. They were more of an attacking 4-3 defense. So I would have to go back to say how the Colts ran that defense. And look what Eberflus's defenses did the last couple of years, because that's actually the barometer. I mean, if you look at what's interesting to me is the way that he used Shaq Barrett in Indy. I don't see a guy that he's used like that here.
Shaq Barrett's a freak of nature. I don't think that.
All right, it was Shaquille. He left.
Yeah, Shaq Barrett.
Barrett. Was it Barrett? No.
Yeah, Shaq Barrett. You're right. No, Shaq Leonard. Shaq Barrett is in Tampa. Shaq Barrett's in Tampa.
I thought he went to Philly. But he chose Philly over Dallas. The way he used Shaq Leonard, who was a tackling machine. I'm trying to think. I don't want him to speak, but it would be interesting to see
he had a stretch where he was a turnover monster. I mean, like he was forcing fumbles every other game. Like it was like, Jesus, dude. Like this dude he was a forcing fumble. Like I don't know, he was a savant at it. But the one thing that I'll say is kind of what Shaq Leonard did. Like we don't have that player on this team. Shaq Leonard's a dude that could put his hand in the dirt. He's also a dude that could play linebacker. You know what I mean? Like he's a different kind of dude.
Yeah.
And it didn't last as long as we would have liked. The injuries end up catching up to him and stuff like that. But he was ridiculous.
Here we go. So DeForest Buckner, he was like, when he was there, 7 sacks, 68 total tackles. Like I think nobody, El Kadim Muhammad had 6 sacks. Like I don't think we're going to look at.
He was here. That's one of the most disappointing signings of Ryan Pohl's career.
Bobby Okereke, one sack. Like this defense it's to your point, is going to be more about the pressure. So I think they just need their guys to be in really good position. But this team could be very scary
Yeah.
because I don't see any defensive ends that were really like on that team that really stood out. El Qadim Muhammad, like I said, 6 sacks with 48 tackles. We have a much better player with our defensive end. So I would say, Shaq Leonard and Bobby Okereke, they 122 tackles and 132, and Kenny Moore was the right cornerback at 102. That could be who's my boy? Who's our third cornerback? My nickel guy.
Our third quarter. Oh, Kyler Gordon.
No. The other one I like. I was like, we can let what's Jalen
Stevenson.
Tyreek Stevenson. That 100 and some tackles out of there. That's probably what we're more likely going to do because they want the speed to get the pressure. So Booker might be one of those really quick defensive ends that develops, and they're going to do a rotation with these other guys.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it ends up being. Some of the other questions that he had on here, we'll just fly through these real quick. Running back workload, Kevin Byard's impact, a payday for DJ Moore. Will that be coming as we get into training camp? Additions that the Bears could make, and Eric Washington's impact. Check out Biggsie's article over on the Chicago Tribune. I do wonder about the DJ Moore contract situation a little bit because, he's the one that's going to be here. And it makes it tough. Do you re-sign Keenan Allen at any point this year before you redo DJ Moore's contract? Like that to me, that'd be a little disrespectful if I'm the dude that's supposed to be the long-term wide receiver on this team.
I think I like I hate to be like this, but I think the shrewdness, I think I'm more the appeal of letting Keenan go to get that 3rd round pick.
Get the 3rd or the 4th rounder.
I think that's a shrewd business move because unless you're going to give Keenan $15-20 million, that might be one of those things. Like he's here to help Caleb develop because now we drafted your replacement already.
Yeah.
He's
one of those guys though that to me now I don't know. He's dealt with some injury already, so maybe you kind of just say we're not going to risk re-signing you. But to me, with Keenan Allen, do you think he's one of those players that has longevity as a player? I guess is the question, right? Is he a Larry Fitzgerald? Is he T.O. was able to play for a very, very long time? I mean, that's the real question with Keenan. I think he is, but he's also dealt with injury at this point, to these points in his career.
Drew thinks we should let Allen play out. He teaches Rome. I'm not. Hey, I'm just saying, if that's the mentality that Poles has with it, I'm fine because I don't think he wants to pay or commit a lot of money to that receiving core like that. You still got to repay. You got to still re-sign DJ Moore, and these guys. I mean,
that's the most important one to me.
Minnesota, they're over there breaking the bank.
Yeah. That's the most important one to me is re-signing DJ Moore to a long-term deal versus re-signing Keenan Allen. I mean, there's if I'm going to pick between one or the other, and I do think there's a lot of people that think that DJ Moore is better than Keenan Allen. I'm the other side of it. I think Keenan Allen is better than DJ Moore, but DJ Moore's a lot younger. DJ Moore to this point, catch radius is ridiculous, and you've got your big body wide receiver that you hope turns into what Keenan Allen has done.
I mean, I would prefer an embarrassment of riches anytime we can, but if it's at the sacrifice of trying to field a team and there's only so many dollars to go around,
I mean, look, the hope is that you found your quarterback, and then it doesn't matter what you do going into next year's draft, right? You go to next year's draft, you say, I bet we're going to take an edge on this one. Oh, look at that. We got a bunch of guys on the team already. Well, let's take a wide receiver here. We'll add another one to the room. Hey, we got another tight end. Nah, take another tight end. We might as well. We'll see what they end up doing, man. But hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Before we get up out of here, my guy. The introduction of the Breeze Hall of Fame. Did you upload the video, or is that not in here?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh,
we'll do it tomorrow. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Show love.
Right now, I got it right here. But I'm all for the embarrassment of riches, and you keep cycling in talent. That's something that we have not really had, for a long time.
Yeah,
of that, So
I would love to have a ton of weapons on this team. I feel like that would be the dream. Listen, with an offensive line, the Bengals situation is the dream.
yeah.
There's no question about it. You know what I mean? With an offensive line, having multiple weapons, with the San Francisco 49ers situation is the dream. Except in this situation, we have Caleb Williams, who seems like he may be a generational talent, over Brock Purdy.
Yeah. I swear I hate this.
What? It ain't uploaded for you?
I always have the hardest time uploading this system.
Hey man,
here.
we'll introduce it tomorrow then. We on our way out anyway, man.
Saying it right here. It's 30 seconds. I mean,
It's right, but is it upload?
Hold on. Looks like it. Nope, nah, it keeps failing.
Nope. All right. I appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Damian said draft punter every year. Appreciate y'all for showing love. Shout out Coach Dre. Hit that like on the way out. For the super producer Joel Holt, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. One love, bear down, see red. Go White Sox. I'm not gonna say the other one. Y'all know what it is. Drop it in the chat. Oh, ugh, gross. And hard hawk hockey.